All right, joining us on Pirate Radio Live, the Hall of Famer, the host of the Brian Bailey Show, the host of Brian Bailey's Touchdown Friday.
A lot of Brian Bailey's in there.
He is Brian Bailey.
I think Melissa would tell you there's way too much Brian Bailey in there.
Nah, never too much Brian Bailey. Had a great edition of the Brian Bailey Show earlier today, talking to the head coaches that'll be at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium on Saturday night, Blake Harrell and Kalani Sataki. And Bailey, a great show.
Appreciate it. It was. It's always fun when you're talking to the head coaches, and it's kind of rare because a lot of times they, after Mondays or so, they're off limits. But thankful for Blake Harrell for coming on with me for 15 minutes or so, and BYU was able to make their coach available, so it worked out really well.
You talked to them for a combined 20 minutes or so, and did they give you anything other than coach speak today? Any?
No, most of it is pretty much, it's pretty much vanilla, but. I think what you said was really humorous when you think about BYU because they're all about service and about doing stuff. But they
all
will
friends at the end of the day.
They will go out there and they will hurt you on the football field.
When we twisted your ankle, we were just saying
we were just saying hello.
Love tap.
Yeah, love tap.
But man, I'm looking forward to it, and I've mentioned it several times, just kind of looking at the schedule before the season, kind of a recipe for a big game, week 4. And the first part was beating NC State. You didn't get that done, but make it competitive, come home, win a home game, and then take care of business on the road. And they've done pretty much everything you can do outside of winning that opener to get folks excited for this one. And BYU, you look at the rankings just outside the top 25, basically number 26 in the country, would be in the top 25 if their quarterback didn't leave before the start of the season. But they got a true freshman in there now, and they are anticipating a big year. And this is, we got some game. Like Army on a Thursday night's a big game. That Memphis game, depending on where we are, could be a huge game. But looking at the schedule, I think most people would say this is the biggest home game of the year for ECU.
I think so for sure, and I think we're going to have a big crowd. I hope we get a sellout. As I said it on my radio show, there's nothing like a rowdy sellout crowd in a great atmosphere. You think back to through the years when we've had a situation like that, and when the Pirates have played well and won in a situation like that, there's just nothing like it.
And, well, not to be negative guy, but David in Farmville made the call the other night. He said, this reminds me of Virginia Tech ECU on that Thursday night.
Doesn't remind me of that at all.
I hope not.
Because old Bear, who's the quarterback wearing number 47, is no Michael Vick. So there's that.
That's a good point. But the energy hopefully will be there coming up. And I don't know if we've really talked about it enough because you have a game and then we have the fifth quarter, but you kind of move on to the next one so fast. But I mean, that's the first time we've been able to say on Pirate Radio that we shut out a FBS team.
Yeah.
Because Pirate Radio didn't exist the last time it happened. And that's a big deal, no matter how bad Coastal has been and how anemic their offense is. To shut out a team in 2025, I mean, it's hard to do.
It really is very difficult. And I thought Coastal, the spread was only 7.5, which is, that's the same thing for BYU coming to East Carolina, very similar type spread. But East Carolina left so much out there in the first half. I think they were very frustrated on the sideline. I think coaches were frustrated. I think players were frustrated. But they righted the ship. Credit Coach Harrell for that. I mean, he got them together at halftime and said, hey, there are certain things we got to do. We got to take care of business. And they scored 28 unanswered in the second half and won that game 38-0. And that's another great atmosphere Coach Harrell talked about. Whenever all that teal was gone, and it was all purple left in the stands.
That's awesome.
And I was out. I tried to get a shot of the two coaches shaking hands afterwards for the coaches show, and I heard Blake tell several players, "Go thank the fans, go thank the fans," and they ran over and high fives and just had a little pirate party right there in Conway, South Carolina.
Bailey, we talked to you early Sunday morning on the USA
Yes, we
First Quarter
did.
Call-in show.
Yeah.
That was a great call, and you had a view of it that the thing ain't right at Coastal. I mean, we could all see it with the scores, but you think it could be even worse than that. And we just saw two coaches get fired. Virginia Tech getting rid of Pry, and Deshaun Foster, the alum, the great running back, been fired now at UCLA. And, Holt Naylor says he thinks Tim Beck's days are numbered there. And, you just kind of said you didn't really like the body language or anything,
especially in the
going on.
second half. I think the interception in the first half, really that's when the body language I think started going down for Coastal, because I think after that they, and in the second half when that snowball started rolling, and when the Pirates started rolling, running the football, and that's something that we've talked about, that we're not quite sure they'll be able to run the football against BYU.
Yeah.
It may be a Caton Hauser, 350-yard type game for East Carolina to have success, because those boys down there, the BYU linemen, and they're just known for their strength, known for just how big they are, and that's going to be a tough assignment for the ECU offensive linemen.
I'm interested to see our defense versus BYU, because I think NC State has a pretty good offense.
I do too.
Generally, and where is BYU compared to them? And they're going to try to run the ball with them big boys up front.
Yes.
And what can our defense do? That's going to be a big test. They have passed every test with flying colors so far, but very excited with what this Pirate defense has done. And again, it's going to be a challenge coming up Saturday.
And we're not sure really what BYU has seen so far. We don't. Portland State 69-0, and then Stanford, I think it was 27-3. We don't think Stanford's very good either. So they played two teams that they've beaten, they should have beaten. East Carolina, the last two games, have beaten teams that they should have beaten. But I will say, and I've said this on the air, sometimes teams play to the level of their competition, and we've seen that a bunch at East Carolina through the years. That Campbell would come in, hang around, and then in the second half, East Carolina would take control. Or was it A&T, the infamous money game? Bring me my money. I mean, they let them hang around way too long, and they left with a victory.
Jarrett, you seen the over/under for this game? Take a guess on Mike.
I think I've seen
Oh,
it.
your mic's not on. You don't have to get on mic.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can get on mic, though.
getting
You
on mic.
know where to turn it on at.
Guess that over/under for
Guess the
ECU
over-under.
BYU.
63.5.
Yeah, you're a little high.
Yeah, a little high. What do you think's playing?
55.5.
It's 50.5.
Jeez. That's
Yeah.
a little low.
Well, maybe they're overcorrecting after making the dumbest
Yeah.
over/under
That was
ever last week.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They said Coastal basically would score in the mid to whatever 20s against
Yeah.
ECU, and they can't get a first down. But 50.5. So that is a lower number for college football standards. But I don't know. Two maybe good defenses going at it Saturday.
Well, BYU comes to town with the number one defense in the country, total defense. But again,
yeah.
it's against Portland State and against Stanford, so we don't know how that.
So how many
that'll
did
hold
Stanford
up.
score?
Stanford scored 3.
So BYU has not allowed a touchdown yet.
Correct.
This season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're about to break that. Hopefully early.
I hear you, Coach Harrell.
I like Coach Harrell wouldn't say that. He'd say we're going to just play against us because it's about
We're gonna
us.
play
and it's
Pirate
our
football,
team,
it's
and
about
Pirate
us.
football. The Pirates are playing the Pirates.
He got that script from Cliff. I'm telling you, from Coach Godwin. He got that.
Oh my
script.
God, Cliff will never talk about the opposing team. Coach, what do you know about these the pitchers?
That and
I haven't looked at it
I
yet.
haven't looked at it. Yeah, that and the weather.
Which I guess that is a good way to just get out of answering any question. Just say I haven't looked at them.
Haven't looked at them. Don't plan to look at them. Yeah.
When they're on the field, I'm going to turn my back and look the other way because I'm not going to look at them.
In fact, when he gets married in December, I don't think he's going to the rehearsal.
How's your wife looking? I haven't looked at her. Not going to look at her.
Don't even know who she is. I'm just kidding. We all love Bree. That's for sure.
Speaking of Cliff, we'll have Danny Beal on the show coming up later today. He and Cliff and a bunch. I saw Starman and I believe Carter Cunningham were all watching Treya Savage last night live in Tampa. Kind of stinks your MLB debut. You're in a minor league ballpark, but it probably helped calm the nerves.
I would say. And he pitched so well after that first inning. Because that first inning, you give up that RBI double, and you're like, that's 2 hits and 1 run.
Back-to-back hits to start the game.
And you're like, man, this might not, bode well. But, hey, he stuck it out. And he went 5 complete, struck out 9, gave up 3 hits. And it was fun watching him. And it was fun listening to the commentators, and they were talking about, his pitching style and his angle from his arm is way up high. And, it's really, that's got to be the greatest recruiting tool you can have.
Oh, yeah.
For Cliff Godwin to show a picture with him and Hoffman, who was a Pirate. He was in the picture.
Do you think that's got to be the first time ever 2 former Pirates pitched for the same MLB team in the same game, right?
I would think.
It's got to be.
I would think, but I'm not positive. But it makes sense.
But you're right. Why should I come to East Carolina? And
Right.
you just
Yeah. You
I
want
don't
to
know.
be
Did you watch the Blue Jays last night?
Yeah, we had 2 of them out there.
I got fall ball coming up soon. Got basketball practice next week. Which
Oh, man.
J-Bone's excited about.
There you go.
Get some pirate hoops going.
Looking for. I talked to Coach Schwartz the other day, and he said he was fired up to get started. I tell you, talk about a gym rat. That's Mike Schwartz.
Yeah, he's in there.
He eats, sleeps, everything. Basketball.
Who the Cowboys got on Thanksgiving? Do you remember? Off the top
I
of your
believe
head?
it's Mahomes and company.
So Brian Bailey's got pirate hoops at noon
Yeah,
versus St. Bonaventure.
I think it's Kansas City.
And then later on, after you eat some food, you got the old Chiefs. That's a big sports day.
Oh, it's
BB.
a great sports day, and I'm taking off from Channel 9 so I can enjoy that great sports day.
You gonna send Zach to Fort Myers or somebody? Or
I'd like to. That'd be fun. Yeah,
I mean, played.
I'd like to send Zach further south than Fort Myers.
Where did Garfield send the dog to Abu Dhabi? Maybe you should send Zach to Abu Dhabi.
I think he's been there.
Oh, Zach. Yeah, his Pats got him a win this weekend, and Bailey's Cowboys got him a win.
Man, that was awful.
Did they win? Is the game over? Are
I
they
don't
still
know, man.
going back and forth?
It was awful. It was.
It was.
just-
I
it
didn't
was
want to
awful.
say.
It was
It
awful.
was like 2 bad football teams
Yeah.
just kind of messing
And the thing I
around.
told somebody, I said, it's a sad commentary when you feel better after a win than you. Better after a loss than you do after a win.
Because you were
Because
after
you're playing the
Eagles
world
lost.
champs.
Yeah.
You start off like gangbusters, and then the second half you played really good defense. They played really good defense. Nobody got anything going, and you lost by a field goal. I mean, you had a chance to win on the road. So I'm thinking, now you're going back home. It's the Giants, but man, was I wrong?
Well, I
It's
guess
the NFL though.
got to make you feel good that 2 games in, your offense is whatever they put in front of you. You've been able to score on it.
And the running back situation that everybody this summer slammed. Every pundit said it was the worst running back room in America. You're rolling your eyes, but they didn't they say that?
Yeah, and for good reason.
Why?
Well, last year you went into it with
they're
this-
not the worst now.
Okay, let's.
I interviewed a lady that works for the Cowboys, and she's like, "This is terrible."
Well, it ain't terrible now, lady. Hey, Javante.
I like Javante.
He scored so many touchdowns on Touchdown Friday, and now he's playing for the Cowboys and looking good. He looks good.
Miles Sanders ain't no good, Bailey.
Well, I don't think he's that good either. But he had a good run against the Eagles, and he gave the ball away. And he had a good run against the Giants. But
I've been defending Dak in the passing game all off season, but as far as the run game, and you're right. I mean, so far so good. But we'll see what happens. You got to stop somebody. Which
I'm playing the Bears this week. Got a chance to stop somebody.
I don't know. All right, start Caleb Williams, folks. He's about to throw for.
Yeah, he's about to throw for 1,000 yards in one game.
Where is that game?
He's going to throw it deep in Chicago. Luckily, though, it's the Windy City, so maybe he throws some deep balls and the wind will get them or something.
Chance to get the start 2-1. I mean, that'd
chance. We'll see what happens. And then the Packers come to Dallas for Sunday Night Football.
They are.
You don't think there'll be some excitement around that game, do you?
Michael Parsons is awesome, baby.
Yeah, he is. He's a very good player. But
dominated.
if you chase down a slow quarterback in a 27-6 game, it ain't that big a deal. and Fox made it sound like it was the greatest sack. They were going to put him in Canton after that sack.
He got to a fast quarterback last Thursday, and now we might be going to Marcus Mariota this week.
Man, I tell you, I saw a thing on ESPN recently that was talking about quarterbacks and how they're just they're not thinking about their bodies and you hate that.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it because they're all getting hurt.
Hey, look,
Dak got hurt last year.
Even slow man Dak was out there scrambling around.
Yeah, he set up the winning field goal
and a good smart slide.
Yeah, very smart.
But man, another awesome week of football. And who's the best team in the NFL right now?
I don't know how you go away from the Eagles.
Jared's team just lost last night to the Chargers. So that makes them the best.
That game wasn't that good.
Eagles.
Neither was the Falcons and the Vikings. That game wasn't any good either.
That's because, well, depending on how you look at it, I was super impressed with the Falcons' defense.
Yeah, I mean, they look good.
Or either Minnesota just has no interest in blocking anybody. They had 6 sacks in that game.
Wow.
I think. Are the Bucks good? I guess you got to say they are, but they could easily be 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
They had to sweat them out against the Falcons and the Texans.
And look at the Panthers, as bad as they've been, but they had a chance in that game.
Yeah. Technically, they did.
You don't think they had a chance?
I mean, they were down 27-3. And
right. They should have had no chance.
I know. I blame a little bit of that on the Cardinals.
I do too.
But then getting the onside kind of gives you a little false hope.
Yeah, that's true.
But whatever Chandler needs to hear, we're here for him. That's tough. I mean, I've got a new proclamation, a new prediction. John Gruden will be coaching the Panthers next year.
Wow.
Because
now that would be fun.
David Tepper is the new Daniel Snyder, and he don't mind firing coaches, and he's going to go after, like when Snyder went and got Steve Spurrier, just went and got kind of the biggest name out there. I think Gruden wants to return to coaching. Is the lawsuit stuff settled? Like, is he
in Vegas courts? I think it might still be moving up.
Well, Tepper is going to get a big name this time. He's not going to go with another Canales, so I think he's going to go big
time,
big fish hunting.
Nick Saban.
Oh, all right. I'll raise you a Saban. Okay,
yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
It's going to be a big name though, and it'll probably be a bust too.
Yeah,
the
probably so.
But Tepper does not have a high approval rating right now. He's lower than Jerry Jones.
Yeah, and that's saying something right there.
Old Jerry, he was fired up.
But old Jerry's got 2 first-round picks.
There's a new Jerry Jones in town now. Tom Brady's up there with the headset.
How about that? Now, what are we thinking there? I think, how is that legal? How can you be in this role with Fox and then have that role? You can't.
Yeah,
they gotta do something about that. I think.
What do you think, Raider guy?
Get him out of the booth. Make him president of football operations.
Get him out of the Fox booth.
Yeah, he's not that good for Fox. I don't think
he does a lot of
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what y'all are doing right there.
Football's exciting, Bailey.
I guess. Woohoo!
All right, BB. Touchdown Friday coming up this Friday. Any big games on the docket? Are we in conference play?
I think a couple of leagues are starting this week, but it's so hard to figure it out now because we got all these new leagues. I believe our game of the week is going to be East Duplin and Jacksonville, but East Duplin lost last week to James Keenan. Jacksonville's still undefeated, so I think that's what we're going to go with our game of the week. And our backyard brawl, I believe, is Martin County making the trip to Green Central. We worked on that on the way down to Conway. Zach and I did, and I haven't even looked at it since I got back. But we got a lot of games, a lot of games coming up, and should be fun this Friday night. They're all fun. Last Friday night was different though. When you get a shooting, I mean that was crazy. Did you hear about it?
No, where was that?
That was at Southwest Edgecombe.
Oh man!
So with about a minute, I think it was a minute 50 something to go in the third quarter. A guy got shot at I think it was at the concession stand. They were arguing about something. Guy gets shot. The players, the fans, everybody runs off the field.
Yeah.
So I didn't know much about it because I was working on some other stuff. And then in the newsroom, they said, hey, Ken was there covering our game of the week. So Watlington was there, who's our best, all-around person. And so he did a news type, look live. And then he got back to the thing, and the coaches were gone, players were gone. So usually he does a package on the game, but we didn't even know if the game was going to count, or was a final, or if it was suspended. Yeah. So they did call it a final. Tarboro won 14-0, and so what we did was we revamped our whole first part of our show where he came. I did the highlights of the game. He came on, and I interviewed him basically and talked about it. But it's just a shame that you can't even go to a high school football game without some knucklehead, trying to ruin every party for everybody. I mean, who carries? If you're a high school kid, who carries a gun to a high school football game? And how do you get in?
How do you get the gun in?
Yeah,
I think the security protocols need to be looked at there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's terrible. But
and that was coming off the big Westgrave and New Bern situation where they almost had a fight in the handshake line. And people have said, well, that they shouldn't have a handshake line. And I say that's bull. You get your butt if you win or you lose. If you win, you act like you've been there. If you lose, you just get up and you shake the man's hand and say, "Hey, you beat us. We'll get you next time." Where did we go south with that? I remember coaching the girls, and this is funny, coaching the girls, and they would always go through and do a high five, with the old team. Well, one time we did it with this team out of Richmond, and our girls came back and said, Coach Bailey, all those girls spit on their hands. I said, no, they didn't. That was sweat. They go, no, it wasn't. It was spit. I'm telling you, it was saliva. I don't know if it was or not, but you gotta just get in line and shake hands. I mean, I don't, there's a lot of people I don't like at the station, but I'll shake their hand if they beat me.
There it is. We got Brian Bailey ranting today. That was good.
Man. What else you want to rant about?
No, you're right.
How about them Cowboys?
You're on it, BB. Yeah. Looking forward to having you in studio coming up this Saturday, 3:30.
Yes, be there right at 3:30, and looking forward to that. And I've said this before to you guys, but I think y'all do a great job with the pregame, great job with the postgame. I know it's hard. People don't understand how hard it is to be on the air for 4 hours for the pregame. I understand it, but it is very, very difficult. And then when you come back, you watch the game, and you come back and do another. How many hours y'all stay? 2.5, 3?
For these blowouts, about 2 hours, 15 minutes.
That's good.
If it's a heated contest, we'll go 3 plus.
I mean, so then you're looking at 3 plus. That's 7 plus. That's tough, man. That's hard.
You don't need to remind me. Are you telling them or me?
I'm just telling everybody.
I'm very aware.
I'm telling everybody to contribute to the Clip Brock Fund.
And then you got to get up the next day and watch football all day.
Oh,
it's a tough life.
You got to watch that daggone football.
And I have to watch it. I can't just not watch it.
Sunday, we got back in about 3:45, I guess. Got to bed about 4 a.m., from Conway. And then it was like 9 o'clock. Melissa goes, "What are you up so early?" I said, "Well, we got to get up pretty soon. We got to go to lunch at 11. Why we got to go to lunch at 11? Well, we got to get back for football at 1. We don't want to be late."
Oh, what a best time of the year.
Best time of the year by far.
All right, this interview went way too long. Thank you, Brian.
Sorry. Appreciate it.